northeasterly winds that could easily topple some trees. High pressure is just beginning to drift offshore, and this is going to help steer the storm now up the coast.
Depleting salt is a very serious concern for many New Jersey towns. So what you see behind me is a real hot commodity.
Concerned about the salt like everybody else was, but right now we do have some salt and we're getting more deliveries today.
It continues to intensify and really just starts to drop some heavier snows early on. I think it's probably...
I stress the fact that we are the second hilliest city in the country. San Francisco 1, we're number 2. And I explained to her that we're really in a plateau. You know, up on the top end of town, there's flat ground, but both sides have the Palisades on them. And then when you come down from Midtown, it's all Palisades on that side. So we're just one hill with a small plateau on top.
The first thing that we should talk about is salt, so everybody's kind of brought up to date. We have about 2,000 in the barn, I guess.
At the end of the day, I'm hoping to have about 2,200.
2,200 in a storm like this is probably what we're gonna need. If we did it at the level we normally do, our suggestion is to kind of kick back now a little, right? I mean, hit primary roads first.
We're definitely gonna need to conserve. We'll plow to make sure they're plowed so people can get through. But those roads, I would suggest that we don't salt those until we have to.
Problem becomes, quite honestly, the future. We think we can get through this one.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the problem is if we get hit back to back, we're gonna basically have none. We could be left with no salt.
By Saturday, we can be left with no salt.
We make sure that we are in touch with the salt suppliers and that they alert them that we're gonna need probably another supply, say someday Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest. Because I think that we're gonna exhaust our supply. If the weather report is anything near what they're saying, we're gonna use most of our salt pond.
We're going to do it. I have a lot of faith in John and all the men and everybody here that we're going to get the job done. This is Mayor Nick Sacker with some important information for North Bergen residents regarding the upcoming winter storm. With the shortage of rock salt statewide, North Bergen's salt inventory is hitting a critical low point. During the storm, we may be forced to focus on primary roads first, followed by secondary roads. Residents are urged to avoid any unnecessary driving. Please do your best to keep the roadways clear to allow North Bergen DPW and police to effectively perform their jobs. For any emergencies, dial 911. For non-emergent issues, contact the police at 201-392-2100. Thank you for your cooperation and please be safe.
I haven't gotten any complaints through the computer. I haven't heard anything yet. Bobby, we have any accidents or anything going on?
I can't believe we have zero, Chris. I just called in. I'm on 50/50 Kennedy right now. It's completely snow covered, but I mean, my hill is great. My hill, I tipped right up it, and every hill I look down as I'm driving, they're all black.
1214 50th. If you send an officer, he's going to have to come up the wrong way because I'm practically all the way down at the bottom and I got two really tight spots behind me. If I back up, I'm definitely hitting these cars.
Fourth Street, come around, come into 5th from 76. And I'm trying to give them a little bit of time. Start moving your cars up 60, 75. Hopefully I will start to move. Copy that.
We'll see where we are with salt.
No, you know what we're doing now, right? You know, we're just going to be pushing the flats and we're going to conserve wherever we can.
Yeah, we're concerned about the length of this thing and the amount of salt we have. And then I'm looking at the news and they're talking about a Saturday, another like
Yeah, we're looking at Tuesday for the next delivery, Chris.
They've already told you that?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, okay, yeah, I want to keep you out there because right now it's coming down 2 inches an hour, so I want to keep you on the road, okay? Like I said, we are keeping up with the storm as best we can. I'd just like to say that we're in no different shape than any other town in New Jersey right now when it comes to salt. Yes, we brined our streets before the storm. What brine does is, for instance, we came in at 12:30. Our streets were brined yesterday during the day, and at 12:30, when the snow started coming down at a light pace, while cars were covered, grass was covered, the streets were still black. It keeps it keeps it heated. Which it's a combination of salt and water.
So you got blowing snow, you got whiteout conditions across the area, you got winds at 40 miles per hour around the area. If you don't close schools today,
we don't have.
you're never going to close the schools.
We have some small wires down, telephone wires and stuff like that, being taken care of by the fire department, which isn't a serious problem. We have no outages yet.
You know, we spent a lot of money in salt, I know that. We spent a lot of money in equipment, fixing equipment, you know, buying parts. You know, it's just a tough year. It's one of the toughest years. It's not my 21st year. Yeah. It's one of the toughest winters we ever had. We went through a lot of rubber cutting edges this year. The trucks were out a lot. You know, the shoes, the wheels, especially this stuff. This is heavy snow. This is where you break things.
Yeah.
You know, things go wrong. Oh, I hate the winter. It takes away from your family life. You're here, you know, your kids want you to do things, and you know, but you got to do your job first. Hopefully, this is the last storm. A lot of times we're here 24/7. Sometimes I go home for a break, but for the most part, you got to be here. Got to make sure this equipment rolls out of here. Hurricane Sandy, I was here 40 hours straight. We got to do. The town depends on us.
We used about 400, Chris. So
That's it. That's good.
Yeah, we really can.
1,500 maybe.
Yeah, we can serve during the night. About 1,500. We can serve a lot.
That's great. That's great.
And the streets are all wide open. They're black.
The streets look great, John. They look great. I was just out driving around with Paulie.
Thank you.
You know.
Yeah.
Great, John.
We've had about We've had exactly 7 accidents since the storm started. None major. Just a bunch of minor fender benders and. You know, most people are staying off the road.
We may get some rain and a little bit of sleet between now and 8 o'clock tonight. So we'll keep on top of it as it comes down, and, you know, we'll do a little touch up here and there. We'll make sure that the rush hour is wide open. But like I said, all the streets right now are completely open, Chris.
The men and women of North Bergen DPW, they do a phenomenal job, a professional, efficient, effective operation, and they just provide a critical service to this township that not only is needed and expected, but it's appreciated. But they also minimize traffic accidents, and in the long term, they save lives. this is an operation that not only should be commended, it should be celebrated, because these are true professionals.
I think the Department of Public Works and John Shaw and his crew, they've done a marvelous job, especially with all the hills that we have, them preserving the salt, but they still made it safe for our residents to actually travel these hills and travel our streets.
To the citizens of North Bergen, I think that's something that we have to thank you for your cooperation and moving your cars and doing the things you have to do to help us do a better job to help you. The department doesn't function just because it's a department or because of me. It functions because of the people that are in it. From the superintendent down to the lowest worker on the phone pole, these men and women are extraordinary. They provide services for the community that go beyond what the normal people would be required to do.
The North Bergen Department of Public Works is one of the most outstanding departments anywhere in the nation. They take their job seriously. They not only attack the snow and clean the streets, but they work tirelessly, taking very few breaks. They are not satisfied until there's blacktops on the street and the people in the town can move freely throughout. I'm proud of John Shaw, Emil Fuda, and all the supervisors, and every man and woman who works in this department.
Thank you, Mayor Sacco and DPW. You guys did a great job at keeping our streets clean and everybody safe on the road.
I could finally walk to school and it looks really great.
I thought DPW did an excellent job, especially along this strip here. Did a wonderful job removing the snow. They've had their work cut out for them.